Gear Solid 2. 2 years after the events of Shadow Moses, Otacon and Solid Snake have formed a group called Philanthropy, which is basically a non-profit organization against Metal Gears. They get intelligence from an unknown source that there is a new Metal Gear being built. The Metal Gear is being held in a marine tanker, and Solid Snake's job is to infiltrate the tanker, take some pictures of the Metal Gear prototype, and expose that there's a new Metal Gear being built. By the time Solid Snake gets onto the tanker, he sees all the Marines on there being taken over by this Russian army, and they're killing all the Marines. Snake's like, what the fuck's going on? We find out that they are being led by none other than Revolver Ocelot. So Snake still decides he's gonna go and he's gonna take pictures of the Metal Gear and get the fuck out of there because crazy shit's happening. He's on his way to go take the pictures of the Metal Gear, and he comes across Olga Gurlukovich, which is Sergei Gurlukovich, who's in charge of all the Russian soldiers' daughter. She is on the tanker against her father's wishes because she is preggers, very newly preggers, and he doesn't want her battling. Well, she comes across Solid Snake. Solid Snake has to tranquilize her ass out. She's snoozing, falling asleep. Solid Snake makes his way down to the tanker where all the Marines are sitting there not knowing that the rest of the ship has been taken over. They're getting a speech by the Commandant, Dolph or something like that. He's giving them basically a speech explaining the Metal Gear Ray, which is what it's called. It's an amphibious Metal Gear, it can go underwater, and it's basically the craziest thing ever. Solid Snake goes and takes pictures of the Metal Gear. He starts uploading all the files to Otacon when who happens to appear? Well, it is Revolver Ocelot. After Sergei confronts the commander, basically, and they're supposed to steal the Metal Gear Ray, Sergei and Ocelot together. Well, Ocelot has different plans, ends up shooting Sergei in the face. He wants to hijack the Metal Gear Ray for himself. Little does he know that Solid Snake is actually right in that room with him, watching this whole entire thing happen. Well, his arm starts going crazy. We find out that after the events of Shadow Moses, Revolver Ocelot didn't have an arm, right? Because it got chopped off by a cyborg ninja. Well, he got Liquid Snake's arm put onto his body. So he has Liquid Snake's arm. For whatever reason, whenever Solid Snake's in the presence of Ocelot, his arm comes alive and he starts basically becoming Liquid Snake, talking like Liquid Snake and doing the will of what Liquid Snake would want to do at that moment. So Liquid Snake starts talking to Solid Snake, oh brother, blows the fuck out of the ship and takes the Metal Gear Ray. We just see all these Marines in the water, just dead. Sergei's dead. Dolph is dead. And then what we presume is Solid Snake is dead. It just shows him sinking into the water and Otacon screaming, Snake! 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 Okay, done. Now, while Solid Snake was on the ship, after he fought Olga, a cipher took a picture of him. We find out after all these people have died, they took those pictures and basically blamed Solid Snake for being the terrorist, taking over the ship and blowing it up. 2 years later, we fast forward to Colonel Campbell talking to a Snake about needing to go and infiltrate this big shell decontamination facility. After the tanker incident, it leaked crude oil into the water and they needed to clean it up. So they built the big shell to clean up the water and try to save the environment. So the facility gets taken over during an inspection tour by this group called the Sons of Liberty. They take over, and who else happens to be there during the inspection tour? Well, it's the President of the United States, James Johnson. They take him hostage. They take all the people with them hostage. They basically are saying, yo, if you guys don't give us $30 billion, we're going to blow the shit out of this and kill the president. Why does it matter if they blow the place up? Well, first off, there's a shitload of hostages. The president's there, and it'll be the worst environmental disaster ever documented. So this new codename Snake Guy is supposed to go in there, solo mission, and he's supposed to save the president, save the hostages, and stop this Sons of Liberty group from blowing the shit out of the shell. Colonel explains to this Snake person that the leader of the terrorist group, the Sons of Liberty, is actually Solid Snake himself. And this other Snake says, wait, I thought he died 2 years ago. That's what Colonel Campbell says, but he's like, I don't know. The guy's calling himself Solid Snake. So we change his name to Raiden so that he doesn't have the same name. Raiden, he's in a sneaking suit. He's skinny. He looks like a pansy. He looks like an anime character. He's got long white hair. Everyone hates him. Played the game. The Sons of Liberty group that has taken over the shell, they are also known as the Ex-Special Forces Unit Dead Cell. They've been doing a bunch of terrorist attacks and doing all this kind of fucked up shit, and this Solid Snake is the leader of the group. Raiden infiltrates Big Shell from underwater. He gets out of there. He sees somebody running ahead of him. The person has taken care of the guards and is going up on the elevator, and he misses him. So he has to alert Campbell, hey dude, there's somebody else here besides me. He says that's impossible. Nobody else is supposed to be there except for SEAL Team 10, which is coming by air and by helicopter. So Raiden technically isn't alone. SEAL Team 10 is put in to try to help. Raiden figures out that his fucking girlfriend is working on the mission. As a systems analyst, he's not happy about it. Why the fuck is his girlfriend involved? We don't know. She is. Raiden's making his way into the big shell. He's in shell 1. There's 2 shells, and they have all these little struts around it. He comes across the Alpha team from SEAL Team 10. They're all fucking slaughtered. It's scary as shit. It's almost like the scene of the ninja in Metal Gear Solid 1. So he enters the room, and he finds this guy sucking one of the guy's blood dry. This is Vamp of Dead Cell. The guy's crazy. He's licking the knife and cutting his chest, and he's basically looks like a vampire. He's got fucking teeth and all this weird shit. Raiden's like, oh fuck, dude, I'm dead. Like, this guy's crazy. He's jumping around all insane. But there happens to be one survivor of the Alpha team from SEAL Team 10. He ends up scaring Vamp. Vamp runs away. He introduces himself as Iroquois Pliskin. Well, he looks kind of familiar, and he kind of looks like Solid Snake. He lost a lot of blood because he was shot. He's fucking tired. He's gonna take a nap. So then, right after this, Raiden's making his way across the struts, and he sees Fortune of Dead Cell. She's a woman going toe-to-toe with the other Bravo team. I guess it would be the Bravo team from the SEAL Team 10. They're on the other side of this bridge. She blew the bridge open so they can't get to her, and they're trying to shoot her, and she cannot be shot. All the bullets are going around her. She's not being shot, but she does have the president. She kills the shit out of all of the Bravo team, and she's like, oh, I want to, stupid, like, no one can kill me. And then Vamp comes because they're besties, and they go and they take the president. So then we get intelligence from Campbell that there are bombs, C4, under a bunch of the struts, and that the Dead Cell member, Fatman, has basically gone crazy, and he's put bombs everywhere, and he's gonna detonate them. So our job is to meet up with a guy that came with the SEAL Team 10, and he is a bomb disposal expert named Peter Stillman. We have to rendezvous with him, and Iroquois Pliskin comes with us. We meet Peter Stillman. He's badass. He teaches us we need to use coolant to freeze the bombs. He doesn't really believe that Iroquois Pliskin. He has his doubts about him. He thinks he's weird and he's lying. We all split up. Peter Stillman goes to Shell 2. Us and Iroquois Pliskin split up, and we get rid of the rest of the bombs. Peter Stillman finds out that, oh, all the bombs were just baby bombs as a distraction. There's 2 huge bombs on each shell. Oh, fuck. Peter Stillman's got to go get it. So now Raiden has to go to Shell 1, go and fucking detonate that bomb. Peter Stillman's got to go, but detonate the huge bomb at Shell 2. Well, what happens? Peter Stillman doesn't get there in time. He blows up and dies. And Raiden gets the bomb in time, but then he gets a call from Fatman saying, hey, yo, come meet me up here on this heliport. We run into Fortune. Fortune, she's not very excited that it's us. She was expecting somebody else because she wanted to fight somebody else. So she's like, fine, I'll just see if you can kill me, because she just wants to die. She's like miserable. She's like emo, wants to die, can't die. So she's trying to find somebody that can kill her. So Raiden begins to fight her. There's no way to fucking shoot her, so he just has to wait until the elevator comes. Vamp comes and says, yo, we gotta go get the president, blah, blah, blah. He calls her my queen. They have like this relationship. They're like BFFs, lovers, whatever they are. And Raiden goes to try to shoot Fortune one more time. The bullets swoop off of her and shoot Vamp in the head and in the chest. Vamp's sitting there dying. Raiden sneaks out because Fortune's crying. Vamp is still alive, and he is fine, even with a bullet in his head and in his chest. We don't fucking know. We have a fight with Fatman. He basically says he doesn't give a shit about Dead Cell. He just wants to be better than his mentor, which was Peter Stillman, and be the most known bomb dude ever and kill everybody and create the world's worst disaster by sinking the big shell. So after we fight Fatman and we freeze all of his bombs and we fucking kill him, we find out there's another cyborg ninja. Cyborg ninja comes and approaches us and says that they want to help us. They basically tell us that there's this man named Richard Ames. He knows where the president is. He's being kept with all the other hostages. We gotta find him. The thing about him is he has a pacemaker, so if we have a directional microphone, we can go to each hostage and hear the heartbeat, and if the heartbeat sounds like a pacemaker, then we'll know that is Richard Ames. We have to steal a soldier's uniform to get into the big shell. But the craziest part of Ninja tells us is that the big shell is not a cleaning facility at all. It is actually housing a new prototype of Metal Gear. The whole entire thing was built for Metal Gear. It's all a cover-up. Oh my god, mind blown. This is fucking conspiracy. We find Ames, and as we're chit-chatting with Ames, we see that Solid Snake and Ocelot are talking in the room next to the hostages, so we use a directional microphone to listen in. They talk about establishing Outer Heaven, which was Big Boss's dream. We're talking to Richard Ames. They come out. Ocelot sees us. Comes over, and Richard Ames dies of a fucking heart attack. Sounds familiar a little bit, right? Yeah, he dies of a heart attack right as Ocelot's gonna put us in jail or whatever the fuck Ocelot plans on doing with us. Who comes and rescues us? It's the Cyborg Ninja. Cyborg Ninja comes in. Ocelot is fucking flipping his shit because he's like, why is the Cyborg Ninja back? Oh my god, what the fuck? You already cut my arm off. Oh Jesus, you died. We get to get free. Now we gotta go find the president. Now we know where the president is because Richard Ames told us where the president is being held. So we're on our way over to the president. We have to cross this bridge, and we are confronted by this Solid Snake. Iroquois Pliskin is in a helicopter, and he starts screaming, no, that is not Solid Snake. And that's when you find out Iroquois Pliskin is Solid Snake. Oh, mind blown. Not really, because it looks just like him. So he's like, that is not Solid Snake. I'm Solid Snake. And Ryan's like, what the fuck? Solid Snake's alive. Oh my god, he's a good guy. Oh my god, he's been helping me the whole time. Oh shit, that's crazy. So we get into a big boss battle with Solidus Snake is what we're going to call him from now on. And he basically cheats and gets on a Harrier with Vamp, and we have to fight a Harrier on this bridge. We get a little bit of help from Solid Snake and his friend, the programmer. Otacon's fucking there the whole time. Otacon is driving the helicopter. Mind blown. We beat Solidus. The Harrier falls into the ocean, and it gets caught by a Metal Gear Ray. Holy fuck, Ray is functional. Otacon also has ulterior motives as to why he wants to be on the shell. It's because his little sister, Emma Emmerich, is actually working at the big shell as a programmer and engineer, and she is there and part of the hostages, so he wants to be able to save his sister. As we are on our way to go see the president, again, Raiden runs into Olga Grlukovich, and he's not run into her technically, he just hears her in a hallway next to her. She's on the radio talking to Solidus Snake, saying, oh, Solid Snake is mine, I want my revenge for her father, because she believes that Solid Snake blew up the tanker. So we finally get to the president. We have to do all this shit with the Nikita missile, meet the president, and he thinks we're a chick, grabs our dick. Really weird. I don't know. Apparently a girl assassin was supposed to come for him. I don't know. That never is resolved. President basically tells us about this group and this organization called the Patriots. The Patriots controls everything in America. They are behind the scenes. Nobody knows who they are, but they control everything. They're made up of this wise men's committee of 12 people. We don't know who they are, and Solidus wants to figure out who they are. We also find out that Solidus Snake is actually a clone of Big Boss, so he is technically brothers with Liquid and Solid. He is the forgotten twin, basically, that they didn't know about. Oh, and fun fact, he was the president that was in charge while the Shadow Moses incident happened, and he was removed from office after all of that blew up in his face. We also learned that the Big Shell incident, like the ninja said, is a huge cover-up for Arsenal Gear. They have a shitload of Metal Gear Rays in Arsenal Gear, which is underneath the Big Shell. The fortress of Metal Gears isn't just for power, it is actually protecting an AI called GW. With GW, you can control internet, you can control all the information that is being released to the public, and therefore shape history as they see fit. We find out that Emma Emmerich, who is Otacon's sister, is actually a GW engineer. That is what she's worked on. So we need to find her and give her this worm that the president gives to us to basically shut down GW for the hope of mankind. They need it. The president starts going crazy, wants to die, wants you to blow his brains out, says that the mission can't go on if his heartbeat stops or something like that. They can't get the codes. And, well, Ocelot comes in and shoots the fucking president in the chest. Then we go and we are on our way to go find Emma Emmerich. She's on Shell 2. We gotta find her. Of course, she's surrounded by an area that is full of water because of the explosion that killed Peter Stillman. We see Peter Stillman in the water. He's dead. It's very sad. But EE is her nickname. She can't swim, so that's gonna be a bitch. But on our way, we find Vamp again. Vamp's alive. He's in this little chamber with this water that'll kill you if you jump into it, but he's swimming in it because he's crazy. We shoot him finally, and he sinks into the water, dead again. We have to go rescue EE, and then we have to swim with her on our back because she's an idiot and can't swim. She's afraid of water. We we need to get her to this other part of the shell, and we have to go on this little oil fence. We are, as a sniper, we have to shoot C4 off of the bridge so that she can make it across just fine. And Solid Snake is on the other side, sniping as well, taking care of ciphers and such. Vamp comes out of the water, grabs her, and is holding her hostage. We shoot Vamp in the fucking head again, but not before he stabs EE. So Solid Snake grabs her, and they make their way to go find Otacon, who's like in the big shell, waiting for Raiden to get there so he can enter the worm and have EE help basically disable GW, the AI. So by the time they get over there, Emma's fucking dying. She's bleeding everywhere. She's trying to help them with the system. Otacon's like, oh, my poor sister. And Snake's like, just fucking enter the shit. Fucking enter the shit. He's like, give a shit. Emma and Otacon have a moment, and she ends up dying. It's really sad. Her little pet parrot is hanging out with Otacon. So now that the virus didn't work, Snake's like, okay, we gotta kill everybody. That's what's gonna happen. We gotta get rid of the Sons of Liberty. Raiden's like, okay, what are we gonna do? Out of nowhere, the cyborg ninja shows up, and we are revealed that it is Olga Gurlukovich the whole entire time. And what happens? Well, she says we need to use Raiden to get into Arsenal gear. Raiden's like, what are you talking about? She fucking electrocutes him, knocks him out, and as he's passing out, Solid Snake goes, I don't remember ever saying I was on your side. And you're like, oh fuck, betrayal, betrayal. Raiden wakes up, and he is in a torture room. Very, very eerily similar to the torture room that Solid Snake was in at Shadow Moses. He wakes up, he's naked, it's awkward. While we are in the torture chamber, we find out that Solidus Snake is actually like our father figure. Raiden's family was killed, and he took them into the small boy army or whatever, small child, whatever it's called. Raiden doesn't remember any of this because he's just kind of buried deep down inside of his soul. He doesn't remember being a child soldier, where he was a child soldier and was known as Jack the Ripper. His real name is Jack. He gets set free by Olga because she was actually in on it the whole time. They actually weren't fucking with Raiden. They actually just needed him as a distraction to get into Arsenal gear. So why is Olga wanting to help us, and why is Olga wanting to help Solid Snake? Well, Olga was sent there by the Patriots. The Patriots do not like what Solidus Snake is doing because he's trying to ruin the Patriots. She gave birth to her child. The Patriots took the child and said, if you don't help Raiden in this mission, we will kill your child. So they basically synced up his nanomachines, which is his vital systems, to her child. So if he dies, her child dies. So her goal, the whole entire mission, was to try to keep Raiden alive so her child could live. Raiden needs to rendezvous with Solid Snake, who has all of his gear, and so you are literally running around naked all through Arsenal gear. So you meet with Solid Snake. He's like, sorry bro, had to kind of do that. Here's your shit, and here's a blade. The cyborg ninja Olga gave him the blade. Snake doesn't use blades, so he's like, here you go, Raiden, you can use it. I like my fucking guns. All of a sudden, the Colonel and Rose start going crazy on the codec. They're not making any sense. They're talking like just scissor 6-1, like he's just going crazy. Otacon digs into it. Why is the Colonel acting so weird? Well, the Colonel doesn't exist. The Colonel is actually inside of GW, which means the Colonel was an AI the entire mission. He was never even there. He wasn't even real. He was an AI. Emma's worm is still working through the system, even though the virus isn't completely working. It is still fucking with GW's system, so that's why they start going haywire. Mind blown. We get to this point where Solid Snake and Raiden need to split up because Fortune is there. Fortune wants to kill Solid Snake. That's who she thought Raiden was at the beginning of the game. She wants to kill Solid Snake because she thinks Solid Snake killed her father, who was the Marine Commandant. Whoa, mind blown. Another connection. Fun fact, Vamp and her dad were lovers. Weird. And Solid Snake's like, bro, I didn't kill your dad, but alright, let's fucking do this. So Raiden goes up this ladder, and he ends up in this arena, basically surrounded by Metal Gear Rays. Solidus tells Raiden of this whole entire plan called the S3 plan, which is a Solid Snake simulation. It basically turning Raiden into the perfect soldier through VR and through memes. Basically, memes are like genes, but memes are societal lessons kind of learned. Like, it's passed on from generation to generation, but not through genes, but through learning and society. He's like, alright, well, you're gonna fight all these Rays now. I don't remember why. Raiden ends up having to fight a fuckload of Rays. He collapses of exhaustion. He's like, I can't do it anymore. Like, I can't beat hundreds of these things. That's not gonna happen. Solidus is going to kill him, and who comes in and saves him? It's Olga Gurlukovich as a cyborg ninja. She comes in and saves Raiden, says, you have to live for my child. Don't fucking die. And Olga gets killed. Emma's worm starts to work. Solidus is really pissed off because Olga was the Patriots the whole time. Oh, fuck the Patriots. The Patriots are ruining his plan. And they're pissed off. And that's why Raiden was technically sent by the Patriots, because the Colonel didn't even exist. Raiden passes out. He wakes up to him and Solid Snake being in handcuffs. They're on top of Arsenal gear. They're surrounded by Ocelot, Solidus Snake, and Fortune. Fortune has captured Snake. He's in handcuffs. The info of the Patriots was inside of GW, and he's trying to figure it out. Very confusing. I still have a lot of questions. Ocelot's like, no, you're a fucking idiot, Solidus. The entire thing was set up by the Patriots. Everything is compared to Shadow Moses, basically. Ocelot starts making all these weird comparisons. But the big shell is like Shadow Moses Island. The virus mimics Fox Die. Solid Snake and Liquid Snake are the sons of Big Boss, and Solidus is basically Raiden's father. The relationship between the two kind of mimics that of Solid Snake and Big Boss. Ocelot ends up telling Fortune, like, you ain't so fucking special, bitch. Like, it's all Patriot technology, and Ocelot's been working for the Patriots the whole time. Oh my god, la. He tells her, oh, I can shoot your ass now. He shoots her in the heart. And she's like, oh, fuck. Like, it happens. She shoots him. He's like, you're nothing, basically. You have no powers. The Patriots have given you all your powers. And he gets inside of Rey and tries to shoot and kill Solidus, Raiden, Snake, and her. But she somehow miraculously deflects him without the technology of the Patriots. Whoa, mind blown. And, well, Ocelot's arm starts turning into liquid again because Liquid Snake is in his arm and Solid Snake is close enough to Ocelot to set off the arm. Liquid Snake wants to destroy the Patriots, and now that he is inside of Ocelot's brain and Ocelot knows who the Patriots are and has been working for the Patriots, he wants to go and find all the Patriots and kill them. And he jumps off of Arsenal gear, and Solid Snake jumps and runs after him into the ocean. The Arsenal gear crashes into the shore of Manhattan. We wake up and we are with Solidus Snake. Solidus wanted to destroy the Patriots for freedom. It totally makes sense as to why he wanted to destroy the Patriots, because the Patriots aren't good news. It's kind of sad. Like, he kind of was doing the right thing the whole time, but he was on the wrong side. Then you get a codec call from the Colonel and Rose, which are the fake Colonel and Rose, but they basically reveal themselves like, oh, we're the AI for the Patriots, blah, blah, blah. And that the S3 plan didn't stand for Solid Snake simulation at all. It actually stood for selection of societal sanity. It was basically done as a training to see how the Patriots could handle a terrorist threat or people going crazy. It is so fucking confusing, though. No one usually knows what the fuck is going on. The Solidus wants to kill Raiden and get the nanomachines out of his body, because the nanomachines are connected to the Patriots, since the Patriots have been talking to him the whole time through the nanomachines. Raiden doesn't want to, but Raiden knows he has to, because he has to live for Olga's kid. They have an epic battle. He ends up killing Solidus by Solidus falling off of the building, and Raiden is now on the floor. All these people come out. It's very surreal. You're like, what is happening? All these people are just going amongst their day. Solid Snake comes up to us and is like, yo, you alright? Me and Otacon are gonna go track the Patriots, and Raiden's like, oh, I'm down for it. And he's like, no, Rose has been pregnant the whole time, and Rose does exist. She just didn't exist once he got to Arsenal gear. That was a fake Rose, and that's why he was tripping out on it. So he sees Rose, and she's like, we're going to make the future for ourselves, and we're not going to let anybody tell us how to live our lives. And it's kind of confusing as fuck. It doesn't really make sense. But, so yeah, Raiden decides he's going to live for himself and not for the Patriots or anybody. And we find out later at the end that the Patriots, the list of the Patriots that they had received from GW, they'd all been dead for 100 years. So basically, the Patriots knew the whole time that they would get a hold of that and put a list of fake fucking names. So now they have no idea who the Patriots are, and we need to figure out where they are. We don't know where Liquid Snake is. It's crazy. And that is basically, I'm just now flying up to work. That is Metal Gear Solid 2 in a kind of quick nutshell. I'm sure I missed some stuff. Alright, well, thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys tomorrow. 8 days until Metal Gear.